it's funny. We grew up in the same hometown, and never really knew Paul until I signed as a free agent in Carolina. The first time I walked into his coaching office, the first time we had met each other. So, our relationship has grown over the years as player-coach, and now it's a different phase as both being coaches, but it's been good so far.
Can you explain associate head coach? I don't think I've heard that term before.
Yeah, it's kind of, I guess, between an assistant coach and a head coach. It's somebody that's sort of in the mix, with Paul making a lot of the decisions and, working with everybody on our staff in that regard too. So I've seen it a few times. But,
have you?
Yeah,
it's a good title to have.
Yeah.
What is your most prideful moment? Obviously, a recent inductee in the Hockey Hall of Fame has to be right up there, but do you have the thing that makes you the most proud?
Well, I think when you play as long as I did, it's hard to pick one thing. Certainly you remember your first game, you remember your first goal, some of your personal milestones when you hit 500 goals or 1,000 points. But I think as a kid growing up, you always dream of playing in the National Hockey League and winning the Stanley Cup, and to get a group of guys together and a team accomplish that, be fortunate enough to do it not once but twice, is still probably the biggest highlight in my career. And then certainly, as a kid, you never expect that you're going to get into the Hall of Fame. You don't even think that far ahead. But having that honor bestowed on me was just a tremendous weekend. And still enjoyed that to this day. It was a lot of fun.
And in learning about you, your dad's a big influence.
Yeah, no question. I grew up, a younger brother had a learning disability, and my dad worked in the steel plant, and just went about doing his business. And anytime I wanted to talk hockey or whatever, we did that at home. He'd be the first one to tell you he doesn't take a lot of credit for that because he never really played a long time. But I think he just the family values that he instilled, the hard work and loyalty and giving your best every time you step on the ice. And at the end of the day, I was fortunate it was good enough.
You brought up your brother, a great Special Olympian.
He was, yeah. I won 2 Stanley Cups, and I think Rick's won about 6 or 8 medals at the World Games for Special Olympics. Quite an athlete in his own right. Waited till I retired, till he retired, so he's no longer active in the competitions, but nonetheless still doing some bowling and softball in the summer. And Rick is extremely competitive. I don't know where he gets that from in our family, but he went to the Special Olympics, the World Games, the first time and won some medals just doing the classic Nordic style cross country, and was really disappointed and frustrated because the other guys were skate skiing, and even though they weren't in the same category, they looked faster. So he retrained himself for the next 2 and went back as a skate skier and was fortunate enough to win some medals there. So very solid, stocky legs and very powerful.